Alright guys, this is a self-help video, I guess. I need some friggin' help. I got an issue where I bought a new scope and put it on one particular gun. I had a really hard time sighting it in to shoot bullseyes. Once I got it, it double shot bullseyes. But I mean, I had to max the gun all the way out to the right-hand side on the windage just to get it close. I was literally 2 clicks away from being bottomed out. Just didn't seem right to me, but I got it, so I just kept it and kept shooting it. Worked great. Everything was fine. I bought my new gun, my Excel 22 Magnum semi-auto, and decided to swap it over because it was shooting so good on that gun. Swap it over and put it on this one and try it out, see how it worked. Maybe it'd be my new Coyote gun. So threw it on there, and sure enough, I go to the range and no friggin' luck. I can't even get it to hit paper. I had to bring it into 14 yards before it hit paper, and I was aiming at the top left corner of the target, hitting bottom right, 2 inches in from the right. It was horrible. So at that point, frustrated, went home, put the gun away, said I'll either put the straight sights back on it or something's wrong and I got to figure it out. Took a couple minutes, took a breather, looked at it, come to find out the front scope ring wasn't actually seated into the Picatinny rail, the little notch. So the tightening bolt was sitting high on top of the rail instead of in the notch. And because when you tighten it down, it was on the rail, it was cockeyed to one angle, which made it shoot in that off direction. So it was completely cockeyed. Now that I figured that out, I readjusted the scope ring, set it on the rail even, locked it in tight, everything's flat and straight and sitting smooth the way it's supposed to. My problem is I never marked out my zeros on the original scope with some sort of a marking pen or something on the dials to tell me where zero was. So I could dial it back to that point on a new gun and start from there for a baseline and then adjust in. I made that rookie mistake. It happens. Problem is, because it was so out of whack being crooked on the rail on the first gun to sight it in for straight, put it on the second gun, it was way off. I had to adjust the dials to get it even to hit paper. So now that it's hitting paper with a crooked scope on a crooked gun, I just doubled the problem. So now that I corrected that problem, my question is, do I just start the whole process over and see if I can get it to hit paper on a 4x4 square at 25 yards and then dial it back in from there? And if I don't hit paper at that 25 yards on a 4x4 square, where do I start for my reference to drag it in or out to get it to actually hit paper? I'm assuming whichever direction it's turned furthest to, go the opposite direction and come back from that. I mean, it's pretty basic science, but I wasn't sure if somebody knew, if you bottom it out all the way to one side and you come back 37 clicks exactly on a center point, if it brings you to zero again, or factory zero. Is factory zero all the way out on one side, all the way in on one side, or exactly halfway between in and out on each of the windage and elevation? If I knew that answer, then I could just set the scope back to where it was, where it came out of the box, and start over.